over and over and over and over again. Yes, I keep falling in love with you. Over and over and over and over again. 'Cause you get sweeter and sweeter as the days go by. Oh, what love between my Dani and I. I keep falling in love with you. Over and over and over and over again. Yes, I keep falling in love with you. Over and over and over and over again. Yes, I keep falling in love with you. Over and over and over and over again. 'Cause you get sweeter and sweeter as the days go by. Oh, what love between my Dani and I. I keep falling in love with you. Over and over and over and over again. Push it out, baby. Push it out, sweetie. I'm here. Well, good morning, folks. Lester here. Thank you guys for joining me on a Saturday morning video. This morning we're out early. I have a project that we're going to get started on. Some I can do, some I can't, but I will be helping. We're going to go ahead and start working on the converting of this barn over here. It's our Gladiator open-aired summer barn, and turning it into an additional barn for our large herd of cattle. You guys know, and we've talked about a couple of times, that we're going to have several calves being born here this month, a whole lot next month, and maybe a few into October. And that's going to increase our herd by about 10 to 15 cows. Well, one barn is just not enough for all of them. Having only one shelter does not suffice when you have inclement weather. So what we have now out in our big pasture is one open-aired barn, but sometimes the more dominant cows will keep the more timid ones pushed away. So what we want to do is devise a system where the cows can in fact use both of these barns. We'll talk more about the details of that a little bit later. But we will have a system set up to where the horses can use it on days that we need the horses to use it, and then the cows will have it at other times. Let's not forget that our horses already have their stables where they have all of their individual stalls with latching gates, and the horses spend most of their time during bad weather inside the stalls anyway. The horses also prefer to go down to the far tree line to hang out by day during the heat of the day, where there's grasses to eat and graze on, and that's just kind of been their hangout. It's very rare that you find the horses underneath this Gladiator barn, the one that we call it, with the open-aired barn. I mean, it's very rare. So we think that we'll be making better use of it by giving our cows an additional place to go, and we're going to set it up very similar to how we have the barn set up over here. You saw the work that we did recently, and we made it not only into a place we can enclose a cow or two, a bull if we need to, we could also have it set up to where we have a loading system out of that barn if we need to. And so that's our plan. We're going to replicate the same ideas. We'll be having our welder come over and do a couple of jobs this morning, getting some things set up. I have the materials here. I'll be driving those over and dropping them off. I have to get my tractor and do some leveling and moving some hay around to give them space. That's why we're up and at them so early. So you guys join us. We'll show you what's going to happen, and I think that you'll be pleased with the results. I want to again remind you that it's important to us to show you where your money goes. For those of you who donate to the page through your memberships, through Facebook and YouTube members, We appreciate you guys so very much. For those who watch the videos and those annoying ads pop up and you continue to watch, we thank you so very much. It's because of you guys, and only because of you guys, that we're able to do the things that we do and hopefully give these babies their very best life. So thank you so very much for this project. I can't wait to show you the final results. So I just want to show you to remind you of how this barn over here looks now that we finished it. It's still an open-aired barn. Guys, I know that there's folks who are new and they don't understand, but here in Texas, it's very seldom you see an enclosed barn for animals. It's too hot, the air is too humid, you need airflow, or everything inside is going to mildew and mold and all kinds of stuff from the humidity. So you have open-aired barns. Now, we don't mind putting panels up if you need to use a barn to enclose something. Up north, where you have your big dairy farms, yeah, absolutely, you close those things off for your animals. Over here, we don't have that set up. We're not able to. Okay, so what you see over here is our bovine sock. We're going to have one of these on our new barn as well, so any of our cows who walk through into the barn will have access to a daily insecticide to keep the flies, the ticks, the mosquitoes, and everything else off of them. We'll also have us a big red gate. We got a 14-foot gate because we'll be having to park the larger of the feed buggies in there. So I got a little bit wider gate, 14-foot gate. It's a bull-proof gate, so it can be closed and keep all of our bulls inside if we need to. We have the panels to completely outline the walls. They will be tack welded onto the walls, which will give us plenty of support, because any animal inside here will be pushing against the panel, which is in fact pushing against the double columns, which are anchored into the ground. So you're not going to be moving these walls. We will in fact park us a feed buggy, which is our larger feed buggy over here. We'll also have us a round roll of hay underneath the awning as to keep it dry. We'll also put a couple of water troughs. Chuck is going to show you how this bovine sock works. Now note, Chucky could have came in any gate he wanted to. He chose to come into that one because he wanted the bovine sock. He's like, you know what? I know where to go to keep the bugs off. And this is the place. And it absolutely is. We'll also have a couple of water troughs that will stay out of the direct sunlight. We can keep those filled up. And so along the back, we'll also have us another 14-foot gate. So if you have to drive straight through from one pasture into the other, you can do so. Or if you want your cows to walk up from the back pasture into their open-aired barn, they can do that as well. We'll probably keep that gate opened when we want to have our cows have access to the open-aired barn, the summer barn. And we'll close the front gate so the horses can't come through. Now, when we want our horses in for some reason, if for some reason we need our horses inside, we'll simply close our cows off, open our front gate for the horses, and they can come through. Thing is, and I have said it already once in this video, your horses seldom use the summer barns. They prefer to go into the stables. So we have a big project. We have most of the materials that we need. Tractor Supply was a little bit short on some of the things that we needed, so we'll have to go make a run at some point to get a few last minute items. But for the most part, we have a great starting point, and the welders will be here at about 8. Just a little bit of a side note I'll show you. This is how much water the cows drank overnight. Both of these water troughs look the exact same as far as how much water was in them. And so they can drink that much water. I had this one over here filling up. I'll move that hose over to this one next. And you can also see from our Blue Lagoon that they are going through quite a bit of water. Now the cows will not stay together for long. You can see from the shadowing that water in that Blue Lagoon is about halfway empty. So they have gone through quite a bit of water overnight, which is wonderful. I also want to point out that we have a few cows down at the mini pond. Looky there. We do have our little oasis, which I think that will be a great name for the mini pond. How about we just call it the oasis? We have our oasis, and we have a couple of cows down hanging out at the oasis, the watering hole. We have other cows down grazing along the front fence. And so, and then, looky here, this is interesting. We have one cow, is that Dani, all off by herself. What's going on with Dani? Why would Dani be way over there by herself this morning? We need to have a look at her. And I don't think that I see Gracie from here. So where is Gracie? So Dani and Gracie are both off by themselves somewhere. And so we're gonna switch this water over and we're gonna drive down and see if we can find Dani and Gracie and see what's going on with them. I just lost my water hose. Well, it did not take long to find Gracie. She's over here hiding in the hay. Baby, you're all camouflaged in. I could barely see you. I couldn't even see you over there, sweetie. So Gracie's over here playing in the hay. She's fine. So it's just Dani who's laid up by herself over there. Love, are you okay? You just hanging out over here watching cars, baby? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. She's not completely by herself. I didn't realize that. Ruby, that is Serenity. No, that's Trinity. And that's Patsy are all over here with her, along with a bunch of their little bird friends. And then coming this way are Loretta, Jezebel, Reba, Dolly, and Charlene. So the herd has kind of divided itself in half again. Half the ladies are over here hanging out, doing their thing, just kind of watching cars, watching traffic, trying to make the big trucks honk. And the other half are up front, just kind of hanging out, wondering what I'm going to do today. That's cute. Boy, I was wrong. Guys, Daddy was wrong. We got Dani having herself a calf. Look at that. Dani has gone into labor up in the bullpen pasture. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Dani has gone into labor up in our front bullpen pasture. Sweetie, I understand why you're by yourself now. Now I completely get it. You need a muffin for all that work you're doing. Poor baby. Okay, so push it on out, sweetie. Push it on out, love. Because I don't know what I'm watching. I just want to make sure we get a good, healthy calf. And if she starts struggling, we may have to go intervene. I just want to see what's going on here. I'm going to watch for a minute. She's a young cow. She's just over 2, which is plenty old enough to have birth. Most ranchers and farmers begin to allow their cows to breed at 15 months, so as they have their calves when they're 2. And so that's the same thing we did with her. We kept her away from the bulls during her first couple of cycles to make sure we did it right. So even though we all know her as our sweet little Dani, guess what? Sweet little Dani's gonna be a mama. We really need to see what's gonna happen here. We wanna see her get those contractions going. Remember what we're watching for, guys. Really the only thing that you can do is look for signs of distress. That's my spanky stick. You're not gonna mess with it, okay? You wanna go out? I'll let you out if you want out. Come on. If you want out, you can go out. I would like you to stay with Dani. I would like somebody in here with Dani, someone sweet. So Dani is a smaller cow, and we know that Waylon usually has larger sized calves. So that could be an issue. Marilyn is a big cow who gave us Norma Jean. Gracie's a big cow who gave us Lord Grayson. Jolene's a big cow who gave us Prince Willie Joe. Pearl is a big cow who gave us Amber Rose. A lot of Waylon's calves have all come from big cows. So Dani is the smallest framed cow that we have. She's just over 2 years old. We waited till the 15th month to get her bred. And so like I said, all you can really do right now is just make sure they don't start going into distress. And if she does, then we will intervene. What I can do very easily is I don't have my squeeze chute. We're not in the same pasture as a squeeze chute. And it would be difficult to run her all the way from here over to that far pasture for the squeeze chute. So what I would probably have to do is just put a lasso around her horns and pull her tight up against any of these posts or even this feed buggy. She's not going to move them. And then we're able to work with her a little bit more without her moving around. Even if you have to reach in and latch on to the calf, you can do that and kind of help push her along. But we're going to hope that she can have it natural, and that we're going to give her time, give her space, and I'm going to hopefully let her stay inside of here where she has the cows around her, but no one can actually be bothering her. Not to worry, all of the other cows have plenty of shade. We have a very large tree here. We have a second large oak tree over there. We have a very large 500-gallon water tank, our Blue Lagoon, over here that I just filled this morning. And then by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all of these trees here will start casting shade across our pasture as well. So we're not concerned with our cows being out in the heat just because they don't have access to their barn for a few hours. But I want to keep Dani to herself and watch her. And if we have to have a vet come out, we can do that. But hopefully Jamie will be here shortly, and then she and I can talk and look at things together, and we'll just go from there. I'm going to go ahead and get this video ready for upload. Thank you guys for watching. I promise you there will be a whole lot more to come.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.